Y'all heard that? That's the sun shitting itself in our direction. Hi everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst. Okay, that's what that was. I forgot to check that earlier. But yeah, we're gonna jump back into the Affinia grind, so let's do it. And let's also take a moment to give thanks to our one true god, the sun. Sun itself high in the sky every day, for showing mercy to us in our modern society and not wiping out all of our technology by taking a massive shit in our direction. Every day that goes by, every moment is precious, folks. Because it could all be gone like that. In the fart or shart of the sun. That quickly and easily, it could all be gone. And a lot of us would go with it. Just in the fucking explosions, fires, and chaos that would ensue from that. For those who don't know what I'm referencing the 1859 something Carrington event, they called it. Where basically something similar to what's happening right now. An electromagnetic storm sparked by electrified gas that was shot in our direction from the sun. So yes, a fart from the sun, just like what's happening this week. That was so fucking hard. It fried all the electronics at the time, which were telegraphs back then in 1859. It's pretty much all they had, and the extent of electronics was telegraphs and not much more. Pretty much fried them. And the magnitude of that storm was so much. I think I talked about this on stream a long time ago before because the topic came up. But like, I believe they said there's old newspaper articles talking about miners at the time who were like sleeping in like caves or even just in their tents. They woke up at like, because it happened at like 3 or 4 in the morning. They woke up hella early because they thought the sun had come up and it was time to go. Like it was time to get to work, you know? They saw light and they were like, all right, it's time to get up. And then they went outside and they just saw the northern lights, you know, in a place they shouldn't be able to see it. They weren't anywhere near the Arctic. They saw the northern lights and just like a hell of a light show, they said, that they just couldn't describe. It was just like the most amazing thing they'd seen up in the sky. Just a big ass light show of electricity and shit on the atmosphere of the planet, essentially. And yeah, electronics were going crazy. There was telegraph stations caught on fire, you know, they blew up from being overcharged by electricity in the air. Places where it wasn't so bad, people were able to use their telegraphs, but it was without batteries because they were getting charged from the current in the air, from all the electricity in the air. They said there was electric air, basically, they called it. It's quite impressive. But yeah, so if a storm of that magnitude ever happened, it would blow up all of our modern day technology in one instant, basically. It would all be gone. We would all get sent back to, well, the 1800s, I guess. Or the Stone Age, take your pick, I don't know. All of our modern technology would just disappear overnight, I guess. Or in an instant. I think they've theorized that like power plants would explode. It all depends on the exact magnitude of it, you know. But this is just going off of like the magnitude that happened in the 1859 electromagnetic storm. If it was that specific exact magnitude, basically, they were like, yeah, power plants would explode. Everything connected to power plants would explode. Even if you unplug them, your electronics would explode, catch on fire. Everything. We'd all get sent back to the Stone Age. Well, those who survive, anyway. The chaos and carnage that would happen initially. Those who survive, yeah. No more waifus. Ultima would be gone. Wiped from existence. All the booba would be gone. Just like that. And then we would all have to take a moment of silence to all the modern things we took for granted. Including, like I just said, the boopa. We'd have to say rest in peace. And yeah, we'd have to find a way to move on without it. No more AI, right as it was about to be born. Well, right as it was about to become super intelligent or whatever. Anyway, in other news though, it is time to start this fucking grind again, so let's do it. Let me adjust the volume real quick. It seems alright already, but be careful. Yeah, it's alright right now. Alright, let's get it. That was a little sketchy for a second. Oh, I forgot to put away the shit. I gotta make a trip back to town. I forgot I picked up some goodies. That weird purple thing.
Son of a bitch.
A triumphant finish to that song. Alright, well, speaking of appreciating Booba while we still have it, we might as well. Take it away, old cook. In further celebration of Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evil East Chronicles, out now. She'll give you ASMR if you buy it, so she told me the other day. So I know she looks like she's just a static drawing, just kind of sitting there, but that's what she said she'd do. ASMR for all her fans who buy the game, so go for it, y'all.
Oh, shit.
I know. Straight up bullshit. that reset his spawn. Nope, there he is. Okay. Damn, that guy was not giving up. Yeah, you guys can't see the map either because of my webcam or because of Ultima being there, but... Plus, one of those Bartles was chasing me down. So I ran really far forward to the door.
Can you see
Oh, another Dragon's Claw. Is Lantis here? I don't know. She might be lurking. Oh, I forgot to go to the, speaking of. Forgot to go to the Lantis and Friends lobby. There we go. Now we're in the right place. Version of the song that sounds very different. The vocals are very something off about them compared to the version in the original soundtrack of this song, which we heard yesterday. It's clearly like a re-recording and it's very strange. Oh, that's why. This is a fucking cover, of course. The original All Hail Shadow is done by Magnify. This is Crush 40 covering it. Yeah, Magnify did it better. I wonder why they decided to do a cover of this. I mean, Crush 40 did Never Turn Back. The actual, like, final credits theme. They did that one well enough. I don't know why they decided to, that one's coming up next, of course. But yeah, I don't know why they decided to also do a cover of Magnify's All Hail Shadow in the same game. Or the same game soundtrack, but yeah, I don't know why they did that. I was like, this sounds uncanny. Different singer, that's why. Different production values. He didn't do a bad job, but Magnify did it a little better. Like, the vocals sound crisper and nicer. Here we go. Now this was actually done by Crush 40 the first time. And this one's my favorite. From the Shadow the Hedgehog soundtrack. Good shit.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Lantis! There she is! Hi Lantis! How you doing? How you doing, Quentin? Old buddy, old pal? That one's a little louder too. go. I was like, that one's a little louder. Feels like a year. Is it true? A lot of weight. I'm among the players that can't log in. Please /forecast for me? Wait, what? You can't log in right now? What's going on? Is it the sun farts again? What's going on? Or you just... Lady Luck smiles upon hunters, Newmans, and males. I didn't even know you could do that. Well, I qualify in that category, so yay me, I guess, but... There you go, Lentis. Does that help? Is that so you can update the wiki, the Affinity wiki? These sun farts are serious, man. Fucking up all the electronics and shit. Again, thankfully not strong enough to end the world, but hey, it's causing some inconvenience, right? Also, I'm mostly joking. I don't actually assume that's what it is, but hey, it could be. Some places might actually be being affected right now. A little bit. I don't know. Either way, me, Pizza Maid, and a few others have collectively decided to just blame the current sun farts for all of our tech issues. I'm not having anything, fully, but if we do, that's what we're gonna go with for now. Because why not? The sun is taking a shit on us.
Who's pulling his cock out?
Not quite, but pretty close. Holy shit. Yeah. This is happening right now in the sun, man. In our general direction. The players affected seem to all be on the East Coast. Oh shit, so they might actually... Well, oh no. Fucking hell. Get out of here, you greaseball bastard. There. I was gonna say, maybe it does have something to do with the sun farts, but why would... That goes from the North Pole down across the Northern Hemisphere. That wouldn't just affect the East Coast. At least I wouldn't think so, but I don't actually know the details of what the hell, how it's all playing out, so... It might be something else entirely, though. Might not actually be the sun farts. It just sounds funny to say that. Yeah, that's interesting that it's only East Coast players that can't log in. What the hell? I didn't even know that was happening right now. This is the theme song for Sonic the Hedgehog 06 for the PS3, for those wondering. It's called His World. Seemed appropriate.
Son of a bitch.
Sun farts hit in waves across different parts of the world at different times. Well, there you go. Maybe it is then. Can you use your cell phone without the battery? Because if you could, then, you know, then we're in trouble. I think, yeah, I was like, did I say, yeah, I mentioned the telegraphs. In the 1859 incident, people could use telegraphs without batteries put in them. They got to experience what a wireless cell phone was one day going to be like, way before wireless cell phones were invented. Isn't that crazy? Thanks to a massive sun part. They're like, dude, we got electric air. We can use our telegraphs without batteries and shit. Ah, the 1850s. I have no idea what they were like, but that's a glimpse of it, I guess. That explains what we, you know, that explains what I saw in my research set, though. Some places, telegraph stations were like exploding and catching on fire, but in other places, they just got free electricity basically through the air. And that's it. They're just like, oh, look at this, it's neat. Some places got hit harder than others, basically. And now we know why. It hits in waves in different parts of the world, apparently, so there you go. Appreciate the help. I'm glad to be of service, Lantis. You're welcome. Where the hell is the US server? It's in Oregon, isn't it? So it's on the West Coast. That's why it's fine. So if this if this private server was located on the East Coast, maybe we wouldn't even be able to do this right now. It'd be down, maybe. Out of curiosity, Lantis, is there any other electronic having any issues right now around you, or do you know anybody like in your vicinity having issues with electronics? Do you think it's actually the sun parts, or do you think it's a coincidence? I love that we're calling this sun parts, man. Not wrong, technically. Electrified gas clouds coming from the sun. That's a fart. Electric parts. And supercharged ones. June was having connection issues in Monster Hunter. Okay. We're starting to get some evidence here. It could be the sun parts, yeah. It's starting to look like it. Well, I mean, it's like, it's hard to think it's a coincidence at that point. If you're having connection issues to a lot of different services at the same time, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of supporting evidence for the sun part theory. Yeah, it could very well be that. His East Coast friends were disconnecting, but the ones out west were still online. Yeah, it's happening to multiple people all within a given region. A pretty big region, but still. They're all having the same issues, but everyone else is fine. And the rest of the... Well, maybe not the rest of the world, but, you know, in other places, let's just say that. Everyone else is fine, right? In other places like me right now, on the West Coast. Yeah, starting to look like it's the sun parts for real. Means the East Coast got hit. Shit. If the West Coast gets hit next, let's just hope it doesn't happen till I'm offline. Like I'm done with the stream and maybe overnight while I'm sleeping. That'd be great. That'd be convenient for me. Never take the modern world for granted, folks. It can be taken away by the sun like that. Every moment is precious. But yeah, that's pretty crazy though. You know what I was thinking just now when I said it'd be convenient if it happened while I was asleep or whatever? Let me turn this down a little bit so I can save my voice. A funny thought I had right now when I was like, let's hope if it happens on the West Coast, let's hope it happens when I'm sleeping or whatever. Again, harkening back to the 1859 incident. I said miners woke up thinking it was daytime. They thought it was morning because they saw so much light outside from the electromagnetic storm happening. And then they realized it was still the middle of the night. It just was so bright it looked like daytime, right? I was thinking to myself, what if you know, what if a sun part is so strong, you know, like what happened then, that I was just saying that things turned on without being connected, right? Without being plugged in or having batteries in them. It's like, what if I'm just chilling here, just asleep, right? And all of a sudden my computer and my monitor and everything just fucking turns on. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And it's not even plugged in. That'd be something to wake up to, right? I can use my computer and it's not even plugged in. Wouldn't be able to use the internet like that, but hey, be kind of fancy for a little bit. We got electrified air. I wonder if it would make. I wonder if it made their hair stand on end. You know, like the people who were there for the Carrington event in 1859. I wonder if the electrified air just made their hair just go Super Saiyan. You know, back before fucking well over a century or two before. A century and a half before Dragon Ball Z was invented. You could have role-played as Goku back in when that was happening, man. You know, like when he goes Super Saiyan 2 and he's got the electric sparks all over him. That's the shit. You know, as a kid for the longest time, I never knew the difference between Super Saiyan 1 and 2 until I think it was my brother or somebody else pointed that out. They're like, do you see that they get like electric, like lightning bolts, like little mini lightning bolts around them? I was like, that's it? That's the only way to distinguish Super Saiyan 1 from 2? I was like, alright, okay, we'll go with that then. Seven rings in hand. This is from Sonic and the Secret Rings, for those wondering. You know, in all seriousness, now if people are just having internet connection issues, it's, you know, this is probably unwarranted. But there's a part of me that got a little paranoid just now and said, maybe I shouldn't leave my phone plugged in tonight. Because, of, you know, the sun part does affect the West Coast overnight. Wouldn't want it to get like some kind of electric surge from the electric current from it being plugged in, and then the electric current, any electric current in the air. Even if it's small, even if it's minor, you know. I wouldn't want it to fry my phone overnight. I don't think it's that bad though. I might research it a little bit before bed just to make sure, but I don't think the sun part's that strong. But you know, I'm still seeing that it is actually affecting, you know, it is having an impact. I might actually check it out, check out some more details on it just to be sure, to be safe. Don't want a fucking house fire to happen overnight or something. Little spark in an electronic just... It's weird because I played WoW with Pizza and Sarzak for 3 hours, and you were fine. Oh yeah, how did that go? I hope that was fun. I forgot they did a collab today, right? Night of the Wind. This is for Sonic and the Black Knight, a sequel to Secret Rings. 2 Nintendo Wii exclusive Sonic games. I own them. Never played them though. Maggie was a great tank. Excellent. I had to peek there. I didn't make sure I was gonna shoot the bastard. Something I am paranoid about, going back to the sun parts thing, earlier in the day when I was talking about this with a family member, I was like, shit, I better try to avoid sending any, like, making any expensive, like, big transactions or payments, like expensive payments or transactions, because it's like, with wireless communications being affected the most, what if you, like, send, like, $600 to something and then somebody else gets it? Just because the wireless communications are a little haywire because of the sun part, right? Some random dude just gets a transfer of $600 that you meant to pay. You were like trying to pay for a service and it just goes to some random guy instead. I'm rich! I mean, $600 ain't rich, but you know, hey, if you got $600 for free out of nowhere, I'm pretty sure you'd be celebrating. I tried to play healer, but we died a couple times. Senri was Leroy Jenkinsing. That sounds like something Starzak would do. I've never watched too many of his streams, but just watching his style, especially the way he... The last World of Warcraft collaboration he did with Pizza Maid, where he just kind of rolled with shit. He's like, oh, he wants us to kill wildlife. You got it, friend. Like, just that clip by itself spoke volumes. I was like, oh, I think he'd, you know, he's definitely the shoot first, ask questions later, basically, is what I'm getting at. So it doesn't surprise me he was doing that. You murdered more bunnies than he did? Ah, yes. The beginning of every MMO. You start off killing small woodland creatures, usually. The most innocent little creatures in fauna. You move on to the big scary monsters later. You picked up skinning and leatherworking and made armor kits. You did say you like crafting a lot. Well, congrats, Lantis. I'm glad you guys had fun. Sounds like it was a super fun stream for sure. For sure. As Preach would say. I was killing bunnies with purpose. Holy shit. Lantis is pulling out the knife.
He's pulling his cock out!
No, the knife. Same thing though. Lantis has murderous intent. Gotta watch out. Alright, that's the end of that playlist. We still got plenty of stream left. Yeah, about 20-ish minutes. 20 or 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that new playlist I hinted at yesterday. Well, it's not new, I've had it for a while, but like... it's a playlist I meant to get to during the Affinity anniversary event, but... the other playlist I was playing lasted longer than I thought, so we didn't get to it. Is it this one? Oh, that one's too long. I was considering that one, and then I realized it's actually 91 hours. Anyway, got time for that. 91 hours. We'll get to level 200 before it's over. And we'll be sick of it. Yeah, not that. I think it's this one. 12 hours and 41 minutes. Glance at it real quick. Yeah, I think this is it. Because we listened to this one, which was 10 hours. That one we actually listened to during the event. I think this is it. This is the one I had planned. Alright. Gonna roll back to some FF music, basically. That's what we were listening to before I switched to the Sonic playlist. So, here we go. Oh, whoa. Chiptunes! Final Fantasy 1 battle music. The very first battle song ever in the franchise. By the great Nobuo Uematsu. The 80s. You're a druid? I want to say that's one of the most... That's one of the classes that I've heard of the most from World of Warcraft, as someone who's never played the game even once. I hear that name mentioned a lot. Is it a popular class by any chance, or is it just the one I happen to remember the most? Like, Night Elf is a race, it's not a job class. I've heard of those. What else have I heard of? I guess these chiptunes are a little louder, so I gotta be careful with managing the volume, but this one's fine. The left and right audio are so unbalanced on it, but that's not something I can control. Actually, it's not too severe, but it's noticeable just visually looking at it. I'm just like, oh, look at that. The left audio is like a little quieter than the right. Usually doesn't happen. It's old music on modern technology. This is the same track, but this is the PlayStation remake of Final Fantasy 1. Oh. The PlayStation 1 remake, I mean. They remade it that quickly. Just under 10 years later, they were like, dude, look how far video games have come. We need to remake this masterpiece. Little did they know. 10 years later after that, how much further video games would go. Night Elves are best known for their druidy love of nature. So Night Elves are commonly... Like, do most people who play Night Elves happen to play a druid too, or is that what you're implying? Okay, this one is a bit louder though, so I gotta be careful with this. There. -3 from max volume seems to be a safe bet for this soundtrack. No? Okay. The way you wrote that made me think that. I was like, is that what she's implying, or...? Ding, ding, ding. You're wondering why it didn't go immediately back to chiptunes, the 8-bit music? That battle theme for Final Fantasy 1, that was literally the only battle theme for the entire game. Even the final boss is just that battle theme. But obviously the PlayStation 1 remake added more music. Same artist, Nobuo Uematsu, but he made some more tracks, you know, spiced it up a little. The final boss actually has its own theme in the remake. Druids are talked about highly in WoW because so few other RPGs have them as a playable class. What do they do? Like, what are they known for? What's the thing that makes them unique or stand out from other job classes? What is their actual, what does their role entail or whatever? Like, what are they? I have no idea what a druid is. As someone who's a complete noob. I'm curious. Oh, they're shapeshifters. Okay. That's actually pretty cool. Boss battle A. What was the name of the last track? Oh, the last track was a mini boss battle. This one's boss battle A. There's a boss battle B too. Up next. There are shapeshifters that can take on the forms of other creatures. That's pretty neat. That almost kind of reminds me of like... I can see, if it's a popular class, I can see why now. I mean, that's basically... That's what they could have done with Blue Mage in FF14. Even if you don't shapeshift per se, but I assume druids can not just take the shape of other creatures, but also use their abilities, right? Is that a thing they can do? Or do they just look like them? You can be a bear tank, a panther rogue, or an owlbear caster. Owlbear, what the fuck? An owlbear caster? An owlbear, what the fuck does that look like? Is that because that's what those animals... Is that what those respective animals do? Or are you just saying you can just take on their appearance and do whatever you want? Like, I'm wondering how the class actually works. Like, when you take the form of a creature, do you also get its abilities, or... I've never seen an owlbear. I've never heard of an owlbear, actually. Never even heard of that till just now. I thought that was, like, is that not just a World of Warcraft creature? Is that a real thing? You get different abilities based on the form you're in. Okay, good. Yeah, see, so that's what I was getting at. It's like, they could have just done that with... They could have done something so simple. I mean, Blue Mage in the Final Fantasy franchise is literally... You know, copying the abilities of enemies, which tend to be other creatures, other monsters. Why the hell... Like, if World of Warcraft can literally do that and make it a main class, why the fuck is Blue Mage in FF14 just a limited job? That is so stupid. Like, the main MMO they took their inspiration for a shit ton of gameplay aspects, at the very least, even if not story maybe, but at least for gameplay aspects, has been doing it. So why the hell did they just make Blue Mage a limited class then? Now I get why that content creator is so salty about that. Jesus. Yeah, druids... Just from what I've heard right now, they seem like the closest thing to a Blue Mage in the Final Fantasy franchise. And it's not like druids are limited, right? Like, they can do all the same content as everybody else. I'm assuming. In World of Warcraft, owlbears are called moonkin. Well, now I have to Google what an owlbear looks like. I think I'm gonna do it after this dragon kill. I wanna see. I'm curious. And I just... Part of the reason I brought up Blue Mage is because we're getting a new limited job. A waste. Beastmaster, I think it's called, or Beast Tamer. One or the other. Another old school classic Final Fantasy job. Not as well known as Blue Mage, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It tames animals, other creatures. And has I don't know if it's like, I'm not actually sure, like, because most job classes can be a little different between Final Fantasy games, so I'm not exactly sure what Beastmaster even does or how it's going to work in FF14, but yeah. We're getting that eventually at some point before Dawn Trail's over, but it's another limited job like Blue Mage. It's not going to... That sounded louder than usual. I thought like 2 Dragon's Claws popped out, but that's not possible. I was like, what the fuck was that? But Cody, 3469, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So in World of Warcraft, owlbears are called Moonkin, and I linked you to a D&D wiki. Also, they appear in Dungeons and Dragons too. Oh, a lot of Dungeons and Dragons creatures went on to appear in a lot of other RPGs, including Final Fantasy. That's where, like, so many RPGs that, like, D&D is the OG, basically. Dungeons and Dragons is the OG RPG, essentially. That so many others afterwards took inspiration from. Using the same creatures with the same names, sometimes altering the names, sometimes altering the appearance a little bit, but a lot of it just comes from there. So that makes sense. Oh yeah, so I said I was gonna look up, what an owlbear looks like, real quick. Oh, it is fictional. Okay, so it's not a real thing. I'll just look at your D&D thing then. It says, Wikipedia says an owlbear is a fictional creature originally created for the Dungeons & Dragons fantasy role-playing game. An owlbear is depicted as a cross between a bear and an owl. Yeah, no shit, I can see that from the image. Which hugs like a bear and attacks with its beak. Alright. That was the main thing I was curious about. I was like, is that a real thing, you know? Like, is an owlbear actually a real creature? I see it. I'm looking at the link you sent me. Forgotten Realms Wiki. An owlbear was a large magical or fey beast. I wonder if they're using the word fey like fairy tale. The way they used it in Shadowbringers. That looked like a cross between an owl and a bear. Notoriously aggressive and ferocious. They're among the most feared predators in the wilderness. This is a quote that says, "Once the wolves and owlbears catch your scent, they'll follow you. If you can't keep ahead of them, they'll eat you. Slowly if it's an owlbear that catches you. They like cruel sport with their food." Trying to scare the hell out of people with it. Cool. Well, now I know what an owlbear is. Neat. They're a chimera. By you saying that, is it safe to assume that a chimera is kind of like a term just used for when, and like, you have a creature that's a cross between 2 or more animals? I'm guessing. Because I see the name chimera is thrown around kind of loosely in different video games, so I assume it, based on the context in which I've seen creatures that are named chimeras in different video games, I'm assuming it means it's a cross between 2 different creatures, right? They're hybrids? Yeah, that explains why the chimeras are called that in Resident Evil 1, in the lab section. The chimera enemies are a cross between a fly, I think it is, or some kind of unknown insect, like ambiguous insect of some kind, but I think it's supposed to be a fly and a human being. Very disturbing. I think they look a little bit more disturbing in the original Resident Evil 1 than they do in the remake. In the remake they look so... Because in the original they actually look more humanoid. And they even have a voice that's still somewhat human, so it's a little bit more disturbing, I think. Whereas in the remake of Resident Evil 1, it just looks like a straight up... Like, it just sounds like a straight up monster. There's no human voice left. It's more fly-like, you know? Like, yeah, it's still humanoid, but nowhere near as much. It looks more like just an overgrown fucking fly. I think the original design from Resident Evil 1 original is more disturbing by a long shot. It's just the shitty PS1 graphics don't do it justice, of course, but the design is very much disturbing. Chimerism even happens in humans. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm describing, yeah. But they had a more disturbing concept in the original Resident Evil 2. Like, the Resident Evil 2 we never got. They call it 1.5, and fans have found as much data as they can from that early build of the game and put it together into like a functioning game that you can actually download. It just doesn't have proper cutscenes or an ending, right? But there was they had a second Chimera, which was that was going to be in the game, but in the final release of Resident Evil 2, it's not there, unfortunately. But it's a cross between a human and a spider, and it is very disturbing to look at. You can see it moving around and everything, like it's in the game. You can actually fight it, like it's there. Thanks to the fans who found the remnants of Resident Evil 1.5's code. But so it's like for the most part, it'll stand upright like a human like this, but it's mostly spider, except for one leg. One of its main legs that it stands on is a human leg, and it's barefoot. It's barefoot just so you can tell that it was once a human, basically. It doesn't have like shoes or anything on, so it was like literally made in a lab. But yeah, it just walks towards you upright, and it tries to like hug you, and it picks up the character, whether it's Leon or Elsa. It picks up the character like this, and then tries to like cut you to pieces, basically, with its multiple claw legs or whatever. It's very disturbing. I was just like, holy shit, that's nightmare fuel. The death animation, I saw a streamer playing through the game and decided to see what the death animation was like. Again, when it has you in that hold, it can like just... I think it chops off one of the character's arms first and then the head. Just like snips it off and just goes flying. I remember when the streamer first saw that, he was like... He did a parody, he just hummed a parody of that song, Somebody I Used to Know. You guys remember that trash pop song from almost 10 years ago now? He was like, what happened to the death scenes we used to know? Because Resident Evil doesn't do death scenes that are that grotesque anymore. They stopped doing that a long time ago. But those older like PS1 games, they had some pretty gruesome death scenes. So... Now for real, in the early stages of life, cells of would-be twins can merge and grow into a single child. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay. I didn't know you were talking about like in real life humans. I thought you were still talking about, video games or stuff like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. I didn't realize that's what you were talking about like this. Two sets of DNA. That's pretty cool. That's different. I'm guessing that's a different process from when like a twin eats its other twin, I guess. Its sibling in the womb, right? That's not the same thing, right? You're talking about when they're still like little cells. They just kind of merge together. Okay. Yeah, I never heard of that before. I heard of the whole eating thing, where one twin will eat the other, but I never heard of what you just described. But that makes sense that could happen, yeah. Similar DNA, so they might, the cells might just look at each other and be like, let's just become one, fuck it, Oh yeah, this whole thing is now the Final Fantasy 2 soundtrack. This is just the straight up battle music. I don't think I even introed the playlist correctly, but it's just battle music from the entire franchise that I put together on Spotify. Just Final Fantasy battle music, 12 hours. Includes tracks from every major release. Except, no, I think I put in some tracks from FF11 too, even though I never played it. And obviously includes a bunch of FF14 music too. Battle music, Even I think I even included just some tracks that are also very just dramatic for like action sequences, even if it's not straight up battle music. For FF14 anyway. But yeah. But it's all in chronological release, so we won't be hearing the FF14 tracks for a very long time. Some interesting music for FF2. Phantasy 2 was very experimental to begin with. I heard of that before I even saw the first playthrough of it, my first playthrough of it. But then once I saw it, I was like, I get it, kind of. It's different to play than watch, right? It was more so after I finished watching it, I kind of like looked up why people liked or disliked it. Yeah, because I was avoiding spoilers beforehand, so once I'd seen the whole story, I saw that it was mostly just a battle system. So it's basically just like FF8. In a different way, of course. But it wasn't really the story that was criticized, it was the gameplay. It was too grindy. Because you had to like level up every single... Like, you had to level up every aspect of your character as a separate thing almost or something. I mean, that would explain why when we watched FF2, it was so... Like 99% of what we watched was literally just grinding battles. Rather than story. It was so grindy, and now I know why. I'm just like, damn, no wonder people hated that. FF3 was so much better. If you look at my VODs, it's just like, I walked away. I was still watching, but like I turned off my webcam and just went to lie down in bed and watch from bed. Because, I mean, I was such a small streamer that I know there was literally nobody watching live anyway, and it was so fucking boring that I was like, I'm just gonna lie down. That's the only game I've ever done that with. Was Final Fantasy 2. I knew pretty early, I was like, I'm never gonna play this game. Especially after seeing that, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely never gonna play this. But it's there. The story wasn't bad though. It really picks up at the end, at least. But yeah, the story was, you know, it was alright. A little bit more in-depth than FF1's story, so that was good. Final Fantasy 1's story was very straightforward and simple. Well, it has time travel, so maybe some people might take offense at me calling it simple, right? But it's just a standard time loop. It's nothing that hard or convoluted to follow. They do time loops in like every time travel story, so I feel like it's standard at this point. It's simple, you know? It's a simple time loop story, but outside of the time travel, FF1 was definitely just meant to be a very standard Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and that was the intention. Like it was like a direct. It was literally Square. I don't know what they were called at the time. I don't think they were even called Squaresoft yet. I can't remember. Maybe they were, but like it was basically their interpretation, their attempt at making Dungeons and Dragons into a video game. And I think it popped off way more than they thought it would. FF1, I mean. But then they dropped the ball with FF2, but they redeemed themselves with FF3. And then FF4, 5, and 6 are considered pretty epic, you know, by most people, especially 6. A lot of people consider 6 to be the best one. Need to start getting ready for bed now, but thank you for the adventures. Of course, Lantis. Take care of yourself, and please, rest well, sleep easy. I meant to say sleep well and rest easy. Same thing, though. I hope you have the best of sleep. Thank you very much for coming by to watch. I appreciate it very much. Stay safe and don't die, and take care. Bye, Lantis. Have a good one. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hell yeah! I was thinking about that, Lantis. I was almost about to like low-key reach out because I'm like, you know, we haven't played in a little bit. It'd be kind of fun to do that this weekend. So I was actually thinking about it earlier today. I was like, it'd be kind of cool if we could get back to that. Here's a shout out for you. But yeah, we should definitely try. I should be free Saturday after I stream this. And Sunday pretty much, you know, probably around the same time I usually stream is when I'm most free on most days anyway. So yeah, we'll have time. Of course, Lantis. Bye. Have a wonderful night. You too. Have a good one, Lantis. Sleep well. Oh, we're on the FF3 soundtrack now. Yeah, FF2 had a bigger soundtrack. So from this point on, it's mostly chiptunes. It's mostly 8-bit music. Because only Final Fantasy 1 and 2 got PlayStation 1 remakes. 3? No. 4, 5, and 6, we're just gonna hear the original Super Nintendo versions. So we won't be hearing doubles of the same song anymore, for those wondering. That was just for FF1 and 2. And this is the last chiptunes one, FF3. The last NES game before they moved to the Super Nintendo for 4. 7 was almost a Super Nintendo game. That's why it looks like, you know, it does. The little low resolution polygons and everything, like the... You know, look at the graphics, and you compare it to FF8, it's like, well, holy shit, you know? What happened? Like, it makes you feel like FF7 had no budget compared to 8, which makes sense. It was the success of 7 that led to 8 and 9 having such much higher production values, right? But also it's because 7 was being designed for the Super Nintendo first. And then at the last minute they made the switch to PlayStation, but they basically kept the character models almost the same, they just made them 3D. It's like they took Super Nintendo character models and then just turned them into 3D, and that's how we ended up with the FF7 we know. With those blocky hands and shit. You know, it looks like shit compared to... Yeah, well, I mean, even by PlayStation standards, but it's just like... That's kind of just the curse of an early console game, like, meaning games that come out in the early part of a brand new console's life cycle, they're always gonna look like shit compared to games that come out later. Well, that's another reason why FF8 and 9 look so much better than 7. But yeah, that's a big part of it too. Is that 7 was gonna be for the Super Nintendo. Then Sony came in and swooped. They swooped on Squaresoft. They're like, yo, make that for our console, man. It was probably their way of getting revenge against Nintendo, because the PlayStation, I mentioned this before, but the PlayStation was originally meant as an add-on to the Super Nintendo. They created it as like, I don't know what it was meant to do. Maybe it was just meant to be like a graphics upgrade device? But it was meant to be like a device that you attach to the Super Nintendo to like upgrade it somehow. Probably the graphics, I don't know. That was a concept. They pitched it to Nintendo, and Nintendo said, fuck off. And Sony said, alright, well fuck you, then we're making it a competing console, and they did. And here we are. The PS5. Consoles are on the way out now, though. But hey, you got a good run. 5 generations? Not too bad for being a device that Nintendo rejected originally. Managed to defeat or survive, however you want to look at it, the Dreamcast and the Xbox in the console wars. Had a good run. At this point, PC's coming in and being like, alright, I'm monopolizing the whole market now. Which makes sense, it's just there's so much more you can do on PC. And it's totally, that's like saying that is just totally, I want to make it clear that's totally separate from that bullshit that was happening back then, which still kind of happens now, but not to a lesser degree. The cringe as fuck console wars, which PC gamers did not stay out of. They for some reason felt the need to pitch in and say PC Master Race and all that. Like, that whole thing was so cringy. Like, it was embarrassing. It was more embarrassing than usual to identify as a gamer just because of that bullshit that was happening back then. It was so dumb. Because people took it like so fucking serious. They, like, if it was just a meme, whatever, I wouldn't care. But people took it so goddamn serious, dude. Like, it's a real thing. Like, they were acting like fucking gangsters. Like, the Crips and the Bloods going at it in LA or some shit. Like, they were taking it that seriously. Like, yo, I'm with Xbox. I don't fuck with anybody on PlayStation, dude. You know, and the other way around. I was like, PC Master Race and all that. Like, it was just, oh my god. It's like straight up grown men acting like 5-year-olds. Yeah, a lot of them were actual, like, you know, kids and teenagers too, but there was a lot of grown people getting into that shit. It was so stupid. The tribalism is a mistake. Yeah. That shit was so fucking cringe. Oh, shit! Level 182! That ain't cringe like the console wars were. We made it! We are officially halfway there!
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Level 182. Damn, if only that had happened right before Lantis left. But I fucking started my stream hella late, because, again, still too busy. I'm hoping tomorrow is the day I finally get back on track and I can finally start doing these streams when I used to. At like 3 hours earlier from where I'm, what time it is right now. Like, Jesus. But yeah, perfect ending note. I was about to end the stream anyway. That was gonna be the last kill just because I just saw the time. And there it is. Last kill got us to 182. We made it. We are officially halfway to level 200. And remember what I said last time, the second half's actually going to go by a lot faster, so it's not even going to feel like this was a halfway point. It's not going to feel like this was a halfway point because it's going to go way faster. 182 to 200. Even just continuing to do this, if that's all I do. It's going to be way faster than level 1 to 182 because we don't have to worry about... We're not going through the story, we're not looking for gear upgrades, you know, we're just getting boss kills, which gives a fuck ton of EXP. It's way faster, so. The halfway point in terms of real time, like I said last time, is probably a while back. Like in the 170s or something. So we're actually more than halfway there already, in terms of time. Time investment. And when I say that, I mean in-game time. Like actual time that I'm streaming and playing the fucking game. Not as... If you look at real time, we've been playing this... When did I start? This character was started... And was level 1, obviously. Jesus, when was it? November or December? It was right after I finished Legaia 2. Legend of Legaia 2. So it was... I think it was December, because the Christmas event was already happening when I started this. So we're coming up on 1 year. In just, 2 months. In 2 months, it's gonna be Vaughn's first year anniversary. And we're already more than halfway to 200, basically. Well, experience-wise, we're exactly halfway now. But in terms of time investment, we're past the halfway point. We've been past the halfway point a little bit. All right, so that's all for me for now, folks. Let me get out of here again. There we go. I was like, Jesus, I had a brain fart. The sun farts are fucking with my brain, man. Our brain runs on electricity too. Not affected that much though. It's not like an actual electronic device which would get fried. Damn, can you imagine if AI is born, or sorry, if AI becomes super intelligent and we get the first androids and then a sun fart just takes them all out instantly before they even get a chance to really become part of our lives? And it'll just leave us with that question of like, damn, I wonder what would have happened. Guess we won't know now. Because we're going back to the Stone Age. Anyway, sorry, got a little sidetracked by my own thoughts. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate the support across all platforms, as always. But I'm officially bowing out of this mess for tonight now. So as always, please take care of yourselves, stay safe, don't die, and until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. And we'll see you all then. Peace. Enjoy the music during the outro, folks.
You son of a bitch.